Hi, it's Mr. Banks, and I'm excited today because today I'm going to teach you about anxiety and how it affects your body. Now, you may have already learned about this stuff, and if so, great. But if you haven't, then that's great too. So what I want you to understand is that your body is a machine, okay? This machine has been built and it has survived over the years for a reason, because it is very effective at identifying threats and responding accordingly. Okay, so there is something called, and I'm sure that you've heard of it, the fight or flight response. The fight or flight response is hugely important and has been very, very detrimental to our development as human beings, as species, as growing to where we are today. But the issue is that many times we are now triggering that fight or flight response at inappropriate times. At times where it really isn't that important to have the physiological effects that make us feel perhaps anxious or to have a panic attack. So allow me to explain how your body works. Your body has the autonomic nervous system, which controls the bodily functions going on throughout your body. Okay, and so there is the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the, let's call it the left wing of the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. That is the, what is known as relax or rest and digest mode, okay? So whenever you are activating that parasympathetic nervous system at the maximum, you would probably be very relaxed. You might even be asleep, taking a nap. So if you've ever eaten a very large meal, and after you ate that meal, you feel tired and relaxed and you feel like taking a nap, that was whenever your parasympathetic nervous system was activated. Your parasympathetic nervous system allows you to be nice and relaxed. Your breathing will be deep and even, and you are essentially telling your mind with your body that everything is okay, that you are safe, and that your mind is now telling your body that everything is okay and that you are safe. And it's working through the nervous system, particularly the vagus nerve, which is located right in here. And whenever that nerve is stimulated, it helps you to just relax. Feels good to relax like that. But there's also the other wing of the nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is the one that's in control of getting us amped up. So if you think about the parasympathetic nervous system is down here, the sympathetic nervous system will get us amped up here, boy. It'll take us up to the top. It'll get us ready for something that's going to happen. If something just happened, if someone came over here and they want to mug me and take my wallet, bam, I'm going to have that energy. I'm going to have that adrenaline coursing through my veins. The blood is going to shunt from my hands. It's going to go into my internal organs, stay right here in the middle of my body. My vision's going to be tunneled. My breath might quicken a little bit. I'm going to have nice oxygen, ready to rock, ready to fight or to run. That's the fight or flight response. That's the sympathetic nervous system. So it's been really beneficial, right? Whenever we were hunters and gatherers, we needed that. Because if a tiger or a lion or a bear came into our encampment, we needed to be able to respond accordingly. Or maybe even another tribe for that matter, right? Trying to come in and take our resources. We'd have to respond accordingly. We'd have to be ready to fight, or we'd be ready to run. And so today, in this day and age, as you look around and you see your daily life, is there really a whole lot of things to be running from? Is there really a whole lot of threats to be fighting against? The answer to that is obviously no. We live in a very industrialized, technological civilization now. But the thing is that we still feel this tension rising. We still get afraid. We still feel panic sometimes. A lot of people out there, men and women included, both. I help them all the time. A lot of people have severe anxiety and panic. And there really isn't a good reason for them to have that. There's no tiger attacking them. There's no person coming to get their wallet. They're not about to get in a car crash or a plane crash or anything like that. So there's no reason for them to be protecting themselves, to be guarding themselves, to be getting worked up about something. They need to learn how to control their mind and how to relax. But that's the way the autonomic nervous system works. And it does benefit us. It's gotten us to where we're here today. And so that's how we can get from a level where we're nice and relaxed with the parasympathetic nervous system to a level where we are way too high. Maybe we're up here in the middle. We're just really effective, okay? When you're in the middle, you're good. When you're in the middle, you are able to get things done. You are able to take action. You are able to do what's needed in your life to make sure that you accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. You're able to help the people that you want and need to help. You're able to help yourself. You're able to achieve. You're focused. You're right in the middle. But whenever we start getting worried about things, whenever we start feeling insecure about things or overly consumed and ruminating about things in our mind, our stress level will go from here, where we can really handle business and take care of what needs to be taken care of. It'll shoot on up, get higher and higher. And whenever our breathing gets faster, and whenever our muscles get tense, then what we're doing is we're signaling to our body that, yeah, we're really feeling that tension and we're amping it up. Whenever we're doing those things with our physical body, we are amping ourselves up higher and higher to where we are getting to almost this critical point up here at the top where we could have severe anxiety resulting in a panic attack. And whenever people start having panic attacks, they become afraid. And rightfully so. If you've ever had a panic attack, you'd know that it's a little bit of a scary situation. I've had them before. I used to suffer from severe anxiety disorder. I know what a panic attack feels like, and I know they're uncomfortable. So if you've ever had them, you know that you can become a little fearful of them. You don't want to have a panic attack. It's uncomfortable. It makes you feel as if you're not even sure if you're going to survive the panic attack. People have different symptoms, but often people tell me, for me, personally, it was a shortness of breath, feeling that I couldn't breathe. I would get tingling sensations in my hands and sometimes my feet, maybe a little bit of numbness around here. But just this general feeling and sensation that I wanted to jump outside of my body, that I needed to run, that I needed to get away, that I was almost disconnected from reality. That's how I felt whenever I'd have my severe panic attacks. And so if you've ever felt like that, I'm with you. I sympathize with you. I know what that's like. I know it's uncomfortable. And the good news is that I know there's things that you can do about it to learn how to control that and to make them go away. That's a good thing, because those panic attacks, you've created them with your own mind. You have a powerful mind, and you've created them with your own mind, with your thoughts, the way you see things, the way you view the world, your perception. You've created those. So you can uncreate those. You can take steps to go against them so that you become a person who's controlled, in control, and courageous and brave. That's the difference between a person who is a slave to their emotions, a person who is out of touch with who they are and doesn't know why. I mean, I went for years not knowing, why am I having these panic attacks? Why am I feeling so anxious? It took me a long time to figure it out. I went and I've seen a lot of people, various professionals. And maybe I wasn't in a place to really help myself, or maybe they couldn't help me. Maybe their strategies didn't work for me. Whatever the reason was, whatever the issue, whatever the cause, I needed help, and I needed to help myself. And that's how I learned. It's probably the way that I learned the best. And that might be why I was able to climb out of that hole on my own, because that's my mental style. That's how I respond to the world. That's how I do things. I like to research, I like to figure things out, and I like to take action. But for everybody else, sometimes just someone guiding them and showing them. Like, if I would have known what I know now today, and if someone could have sat me down and told me and taught me exactly what I am going to teach you over these next months and years, then I could have moved through that anxiety very quickly. I could have seen it for exactly what it was, and I could have improved my life. And I would have had much less suffering than the years that I went through that time, suffering from anxiety disorder. So that's how your body works. You have your autonomic nervous system, which handles things for you, which controls all these things for you. But you can influence them. You can take control. You can learn how to relax. You can learn how to become right in the middle, where you are highly effective in life, responding to stress in a very effective way, with energy, with passion, getting it done, engaging with the world around you. Or, if you want, you can keep living up there and amp yourself up all the way and have panic attacks and be afraid to Drive on the freeway. That was one of the things that bothered me, driving on the freeway. I still did it. I never quit. I always kept driving on the freeway, but boy, I would have panic attacks sometimes when I was on the freeway. Whew. And whenever you think about that, you're thinking taking that control back. Okay, taking that control back. Seeing it for what it is and learning how to change your mind and change your life. But what happens is that people get so panicked, so anxious, and then they let it start spilling into other aspects of their life. If a person has a panic attack when they're on the freeway, and then they say, I can't drive on the freeway now because I had a panic attack. If I drive on the freeway, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have another panic attack. So I can't do it. So then what happens? They can't drive on the freeway. Their world just got a little bit smaller. Their abilities in their mind, right? Because they think their ability, they're not able to drive on the freeway anymore. Their ability, boom, self-perceived abilities just got smaller. So now they can't drive on the freeway. So now imagine this person driving in their town, okay? Driving in their town, well, I can drive in the town. As long as I'm not on the freeway, I'm okay. As long as I'm not on the freeway, I can drive. I can drive in the town. And then let's just say they're going over here, they're going town, they see something happens, or someone almost crashes into them, whatever it is, okay? But they get anxious, boy, and they're driving in town. And they escalate, and they let it get out of control, and they are afraid, and now they have another panic attack. And they're just driving around town, regular city streets, no freeways. Well, they have a choice to make, right? You can either continue driving on those city streets, push through it, or they can say, I can't drive on the city streets now either, because if I do, I'm going to have a panic attack. That was really scary. It was uncomfortable. And if I drive on the city streets again, you know what's going to happen? I'm probably going to have a panic attack. So I can't do that anymore. Bam, there's another part of their life just got smaller. Just got smaller. Their world just shrunk. Their ability to be their self, to be out there and be a functional adult, just got smaller. That's not a good place to be in. And then think about the next thing that might happen. Maybe now they can't drive in town, but they can ride the bus. And so they ride the bus to the grocery store. They're in the grocery store. And maybe they start feeling a little bit weird. Start feeling like, I think I might get a panic attack. Because that's what happens when you have anxiety. You start monitoring yourself. You start being hyper vigilant is what it's called. Where you're always checking in on symptoms. You're like, well, do I feel a little bit anxious right here? Do I feel a little bit tight right here? A little bit of tension right here? I think I do. Did I just feel my heart skip a beat? I think I did. I might be having a panic attack. I'm probably going to have a panic attack. These are the thoughts that are going through people like me whenever I had anxiety like that. It was going through my mind, these things, and maybe even you. And I start worrying about it. And then that panic attack, boy, you know what happens? It happens. That panic attack, it'll come true, man. Once you start thinking those thoughts and you start getting afraid, you start working that adrenaline up, and that autonomic nervous system, that parasympathetic nervous system starts doing its thing, trying to protect you from those bears and those tigers. But now those bears and those tigers, you know where they're at? They're in your mind, right up here in your mind. They don't really exist, but because they are in your mind, they do exist because your mind can't tell the difference between a real threat and a perceived threat. And so whenever that person now has a panic attack in the store, in that grocery store, then what happens? Does their world get smaller again? Yeah, it does. It gets a lot smaller. Boom, boom, shrinks down. And now they can't even go to the grocery store because they're afraid they're going to have a panic attack. So that person, they used to be very functional. They used to be able to go out and drive on the freeways, go to other major cities, right? And then they got limited, couldn't do that anymore. They're stuck within their own city. And now they had a panic attack. They can't even drive in the city anymore because they're afraid they're going to have a panic attack. And they don't want that to happen. So their world got smaller. And now in the grocery store, they have a panic attack. Their world got smaller. They can't even go out and buy their own food anymore. Now they have to have a family member or someone else come and help them get their groceries for them. And before you know it, that person is full on agoraphobic. That person is trapped in their house. They will not leave their house because they're afraid of what's out there. They're afraid they're going to have a panic attack. They're afraid that they're going to lose control, essentially. And they might even get trapped all the way into their own bedroom. And so I ask you now, is that a life that you'd want to live? A life where you are confined? And really, you're confined by your own mind. I know how painful that is for people. And that's why I'm here trying to teach you and help you understand the way that the body works so that you can understand the way that your mind is working. But most importantly, so that you can know that that powerful mind that you have that has got you into this position, into this situation, into this unhealthy responses to your environment, That powerful mind can actually be used to undo that, to get you into a place of power, to get you into a place of courage, of bravery, so that you can live your life the way that you want to live it, so that you can actually be there, here, now. Look at me. 10, 15 years after having severe anxiety, here I am, able to focus right here on you. Right here on what you need. Right here on what I know. Right here. So that we can both benefit. So that we can help each other. Because this is a two-way street. You and I here working together, that's how we make change. And most importantly, you helping yourself, getting in touch with yourself, working for yourself. If you put in the work and you understand the way your mind works and you do the work, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because nothing in life that is worth having and achieving is easy. I'll tell you that right now. You have to do the work. All that uncomfortable work that you've done to put yourself in this position if you have severe anxiety, all right, that was uncomfortable. And I can tell you that going back and undoing that, it won't be as uncomfortable as that, but you're still going to have to do the work. You still have to devote your time and your effort to yourself. And if you do that, if you embrace yourself and invest in yourself to improve your life, to improve the way your mind works, to improve the way that you view the world and perceive everything and your thoughts, boy, because your thoughts, your mind is like a thought factory. It can create those negative thoughts or positive thoughts. And whenever we go down that negative path, ooh man, you are in trouble. But you can go down that positive path. You can learn how to do that. And once you learn how to do that, once you learn how to control your mind and take control and be brave and courageous and do the work to improve your body and your mind, your life, and the life of everyone around you, everybody wins whenever you improve yourself. Because then you're there. You're present. Not just for yourself, but for everybody else. Your kids, your family, your coworkers, your employees, your employers, everybody. But most importantly for yourself. You win, and everybody else around you wins. So that's how your body works. That's how the autonomic nervous system works in relation to stress, relaxation, and severe panic and anxiety. So if you've suffered from any of those issues, then I'm really glad that you're here, because I know that I can help you. But most importantly, I know that you can help yourself. So it's been wonderful having this moment with you to take that time to teach you about how anxiety works, how your autonomic nervous system works for you, and how you can use it to your advantage. And I look forward to giving you more tips and tricks that you can use. But most importantly, I look forward to helping you become the best person, the best you that you can be. Remember, change your mind and change your life. Have a wonderful day.